Are you, or a loved one, a player from the NFL? Do you suffer from chronic traumatic encephalopathy or other neurological diseases? Well, deal with it.
Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Riliera, and while the video you just watched is obviously exaggerated, that is essentially the message that the NFL is conveying, which is why I'll be discussing with you the 3 reasons why the NFL should pay for the neurological treatment of their players. The current conflict arose when a football player from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Webster, died at the age of 50. At the time, Webster was loved by Americans and had rightfully earned his place in the Hall of Fame. During his autopsy, Dr. Amalu, without being familiar with Mr. Webster or his affiliation with football, began to suspect from his brain's poor condition that he may have suffered from some kind of mental illness. Since then, reporters have picked up the topic and the question arose: should the NFL be financially responsible for the treatment of those who have suffered extensive neurological or brain injuries? Now, some people point out that these athletes signed a contract promising to not hold the NFL responsible for anything that happens. However, does the league really need a legal document to force them to help the players that are making them money? First of all, there's already been a precedent for them to follow. After a heated court case, the league has decided to pay about $765 million to 18,000 of its former players. This is nothing compared to the $10 billion worth of revenue that they accumulate each year.
Secondly, CTE is possibly the scariest side effect of chronic head trauma.
After I looked at it over and over and over and over, I was convinced this was something.
It was a disease never previously identified in football players: chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE.
CTE is caused by tau proteins being released into the bloodstream and collecting in the brain, where it suffocates the brain, causing it to shrink. This shrinkage can cause depression, aggression, dementia, and loss of both motor and cognitive functions.
Maybe you had a 20% chance of having dementia pugilistica if you were a former professional boxer. But we didn't really relate that in a modern sport like football, in a helmeted sport, that it could lead to that. And that was the big discovery, I think.
Not only does this take a neurological and physical toll, but it can also lead to shrinkage in the wallet.
And finally, let's talk about the costs. The average player earns about $420,000 per season, and most of them last for 2. Now, the average treatment for neurological diseases can range from $85,000 all the way up to $3 million. This treatment does not include living expenses like housing, transportation, or the cost of the treatment from other conditions that the player may have received from playing football.
United States President
And there you have it. The NFL should pay for the neurological treatment of their players because they've done it before. These diseases are harmful when left untreated, and the price is simply too high for them to shoulder alone. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and see you later.